Alright. Continuing castle number 2. I said number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, Beavis. You said number 2. Yeah.
Okay. Well, can't be mature all the time, can you? Alright. There's a little trick here. I'll just jump up on the roof here. I always thought it was cool, these castle levels. It suggests that Bowser's castles were all made of metal. If you look at these bricks, like they're not brick at all, they're metal. And the music kind of has a tinny sound like it's metal. I think that's kind of cool. And you see the reflection of the hot lava on the bridge here. Okay. Now, good thing is, if you don't have fire or anything like that, you can still defeat Bowser using the axe. I don't remember what his alter ego is there, because you only get to see what creature's impersonating Bowser if you have fire. Anyway, I actually recorded this level as a sort of a test before I decided to go all the way and do this whole game. And what I said about it here was I love the variations in this game, where they simulate night and day and different weather patterns and stuff like that. This is supposed to take place at night, and all they did was just change certain colors. But the simple graphic style of this game is really amazing, what they can convey with so few graphics. Alright. And now I got my fire back, which is good, because these Goombas deserve punishment. There's supposed to be an extra life there, but the emulator didn't get that one right. That's okay. The star, of course, makes these guys, the Hammer Brothers, which are probably the hardest enemies in the game, much easier to deal with. And a little secret up here, there's a beanstalk. And there's something here I'll show you that I really always love doing, which is the beanstalk dance. Oh yeah. I loved doing that when I was a kid. I still do. And like I said, if anybody saw my little test video, I'm really impressed with, the way that the PC emulators have made these games pretty faithful to the original version. I've never been able to do that, which is get all 3 coins going down off of those things. Those coin heavens, you call them that. There's also another trick I'm going to try again, but I don't think it works here. Oh, maybe. Oh, wait a minute. If I time this just right, I can get a bunch of extra lives. Move just an inch closer, maybe? No, that didn't get it right. But in the original Nintendo version, you can stomp on that turtle and just keep bouncing off of him on the stairs, and eventually you'll consecutively hit him enough that it'll give you a bunch of extra lives. Anyway. This is pretty straightforward. You just go through and kill everything in your path. You can do chain reaction stuff like that. And there's one in here somewhere where if you stomp on the turtle and you kick his shell, you can actually knock everything out, and it'll give you a consecutive amount of points and give you an extra life. But I'm not sure exactly which one that is, and I have no interest in taking the time to figure it out right now. I think it may have been right there. I'm just happy with torching everything. Alright, and 5,000 points. That's another thing in these old video games that nobody really cared about, and I don't think anybody really cares about now, is a point system. Like the number of enemies you defeated or bricks you smashed, it depended on different things. You had a score, and that was really a carryover from the arcade days, where since unless you had $1 million in quarters, you really couldn't finish a game in an arcade. But if you were one of those people that could stay alive long enough and collect more points than somebody else, you had bragging rights. And that's really where that comes from. On the home Nintendo console, nobody really gave a crap about that. Unless you were like a nerd or something and you were like, hey, I got more points than you in Mario. It's like, well, so what? I beat the game. You didn't. Shut up. And here we are at another castle. 3-4. And again, another castle of death full of fire and metal. Alright. Watch that. I'm going to duck into the foxhole here for a second. Alright. Hey Bowser, what's up? Oh! That was a beetle shell, by the way. There's an enemy that in this game called a buzzy beetle that is essentially a beetle in a big shell that looks like a football helmet. Alright. Now this guy is called a Lakitu, or Lakitu, I guess. It's like the Japanese pronunciation of it. He's a turtle monster that lives in the clouds, and he throws spiny creatures at you. And in later Mario games, he was a little more friendly. Well, sometimes he was bad, and sometimes he was good. It just depended on the game. Like in the sports games, he was a cameraman. And then in the Mario Kart games, he would fish you out of a lake with a fishing pole if you fell off a ledge into a lake or into a bottomless pit or something. He'd come and put you back on the track. But here he's just an asshole. And easily avoidable if you run fast. Alright. Now we're on 4-2. I think we're going to go underground again here. Alright, yes we are. There is, yes, here we go, coin block right up here. Alright. So we're about halfway through the game here, and this is when it starts getting a little harder. Now I want to show you a shortcut that I would take if I wanted to take it, which is one of the warp zones. You hit this block right here, and that beanstalk takes you up to the warp zone. I don't want to take it at this point, though. Alright. Now this guy right here to my right is a buzzy beetle. Which basically is a beetle in a football helmet. It's just what it is. Who said those Japanese people weren't weird, right? And they've been in pretty much every Mario game since, too. In Mario 3, they could also fly and climb on the ceiling, and then dive bomb you from the ceiling. It's always fun. Always fun to run into one of those guys. I'm gonna go down this way. I'm really glad I have fireballs on this level, because otherwise it can be really, really hard. Alright. There we go. Alright. And I'm want to pause here for just a second. And I shall return.